friends, welcome to Khullamkhulla News, Views and Reviews. And today we're going to talk about 18th Jio MAMI Mumbai Film Festival. It's an international film festival and it started on 21st October uh, 2016, that was yesterday. Um, it was a great start in the sense that there were very few glitches. Online booking was an issue, but I think it's getting sorted out. Um, Certain information which is already there on the festival's website, but people have not bothered to look at it, is very critical as far as your planning for the festival is concerned. All the tickets of the festival, they're not being sold online. On quite a few number of tickets, probably 25, 30%, 40% tickets, they're being kept back and they're being sold through counters at different venues. So keep that in mind. So in case you don't get to book your favorite film, um, don't lose heart. Go to the venue and you can do the booking there. Then there is another important information. There are some cinema halls where and venues where there are not a lot of people going, and they're not booking seats. So you can, in case you are really keen to watch a particular film, you can always go and book it, on those venues. So in no way, you can, if you really are keen and you really are prepared to do a bit of running around, you should not be missing any of the films which you think are important for you. So, and then the option that even if you have not booked, you can wait and 15 minutes before the start of the film, if there are seats available, you'll be provided entry and you can watch the film there and there. And this happens. A lot of people who are booking online, it seems they don't turn up and they change their program. So you should not be missing any of your important films. If you are really prepared to work hard, do a bit of running around. Regal, if you are living in South Bombay area, Regal is the best place. Their scheduling has some really great films, very important films of the festival, and even people who are finding it difficult to book tickets in suburbs can always go to Regal. It's very close to Churchgate and it's not a problem. So that's one thing. Now let's talk about films. So yesterday I watched 3 films. The first film which I watched was Neruda. Now that film actually. Before that, let me show you, the catalog. The catalog is very important. This catalog has been very well designed, very well organized. It's quite user friendly, and it's thick. It has lots of information for you, and will certainly help you plan your festival better. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about the films. So the first film I watched was Neruda. It is about based on the life of Pablo Neruda. It's not exactly a biopic. It's a point of view film. The filmmaker has his own poetic, metaphorical, or whatever you call it, understanding of Neruda's life, particularly the life when he was being chased by the Chilean police and was running around, and artists all over the world was coming out in support, including Pablo Picasso. So, but the film is not about that. Film has a very literary approach, because he was also a man of literature. So the filmmaker has used all those elements to create his own story. And it's a very interesting story, very engaging drama, and for those who like old world films, art house films, they would love it. They will say that this is a very important film. I won't call it a very important film, but it's an engaging drama, interesting film, quite watchable and enjoyable. Then I watched 2 more films. Now those films were in the competition section of Mami Film Festival. If you don't know, the Mami Film Festival competition has these films from debutants, and the only condition is that it should be India premiere of those films. So these films are picked up, from major film festivals. So there will be films from Cannes, Berlin, Sundance, Venice, Toronto, and many other films. I mean, there are hundreds of them, but all the important film festivals, you know, uh, they are taken into account while the selectors in Mami, they get down to selecting, because there is a big prize to be given, so it cannot be given to any Tom, Dick, or Harry. So these have to be important films, and a lot of people, a lot of these filmmakers, debutant filmmakers who have been to the major film festivals, they like sending their films to Mami. So the first film that I watched was Dog Days. It's a Chinese film, but um, Chinese film Mandarin, not exactly. They have different kind of languages. So it was a Chinese Mandarin film, not made by a Chinese filmmaker. So the perspective was not exactly of a Chinese guy. It was a Western perspective and typical slumdog millionaire kind of perspective. And the subject that was chosen was about a bar girl who is not married, has a boyfriend, and she also has a child. And since he's lactating, the child is not very old. I mean, he's probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months or a year or whatever. And her boyfriend runs away with the child because she also had a fight with him and once told that they should give away the child. See, in China, they had this one child norm probably that has been relaxed. I don't know. I'm not very sure about that. So if you give away a child, there are couples, who are willing to pay a lot of money. So this guy tried to do that, and she went looking for the child, and that's how the story builds up. It shows the underbelly of China. Though there is mention of Shanghai, but whatever we see in the film, we don't see that kind of opulence which we see in those night shots of Shanghai. Very glittering Shanghai, shining Shanghai. I mean, even Indian politicians, have been trying to say that, oh, Mumbai has to turn into Shanghai. But what we saw there, and not only Shanghai, the other urban areas, it was like what we are here. It was not much different from the Indian situation. So that was it. Was it an important film? Was it a good film? I don't think it was a good film. Now this was in Berlin in International Film Festival programming. Now which section? Certainly it was not in competition section. It might have been in Panorama, or they have this forum section where these kind of films, they're generally showcased. But I don't think it's going to win the award, in my opinion. It doesn't have that kind of quality. The second film again was a competition entry. This was another important film called Godless. It's a Bulgarian film. Now, this film has won the Best Film Award at Locarno International Film Festival. It has also won the Best Actress Award at Locarno. So again, very important selection. But what we saw in the film was that it was following, this typical art house pattern. And particularly in Eastern European countries, there has been a lot of exchange of cinematic ideas, among the filmmakers there, particularly those who are into art house area, and they seem to be, following each other, copying each other, and they have gone into a kind of a rut. So this film was quite a reflection of that rut. In my opinion, it's not an important film, but since it has won an award, and it seemed that the actress had really done a good work, but then all actresses and all directors, they have been getting this kind of work from these actresses, and they have also been following certain patterns. So you'll see this kind of performance, in hundreds of films of this kind, this genre. So, I don't know. One of the selectors, a friend, fellow film reviewer and critic, he was of the opinion that it's not a bad film. That was his opinion. So it means there are better films in selection, and let's look forward to them. So this was, and after watching these three films, I decided not to go for the fourth film. Though I had the ticket, but I decided to come back home. It gets very tiring sometimes, because art house cinema is, unless it is really, something path breaking, it doesn't really enthuse you. It doesn't really make you really, it kills you. So, there has to be fine balance. And so if that doesn't happen, if you don't see exceptional work there, then it gets very, very tiresome. So yesterday was not the day of exceptional cinema. Let's see what happens. And our next day, you have quite a few films from Cannes selection, Cannes competition section in the world cinema category. And of course, I mean, a lot of people must have booked those films already, and there will be a big crowd. It's a Saturday. So let's see how things turn out on a Saturday. But on the whole, we must thank the organizers. They have done a great job. Everything is smooth. It is nicely done. There is certain class about it, and if they continue like this, I'm sure one of these days, Mumbai Film Festival, organized under the auspices of MAMI, will be one of the most important film festivals in this part of the world. So that's all. I'm signing off now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll come with the next video with more Mami news in days to come. Thank you very much.